Welcome back to another edition of the Course Creation Incubator. I'm Gina Onativia, your course coach, digital strategist, and host, here to get you excited about your course creation and marketing, to help you believe in yourself even at those moments when you can't, or maybe the fear is creeping in a little bit. But if you're listening right now, I know you've got a course inside of you just waiting to come out, and I'm here to help you because I want you building that course and building the course-based business of your dreams. Today, we're getting serious because we're talking about how to set up your audience so you can launch in the next 3 months. I'm going to walk step by step through what I think is a really nice program for you month by month to set yourself up for success in terms of building your audience. So then at the end of the 3 months, you're ready to launch your course, your workshop, whatever your program is. Before I get there, I've been talking a lot about being a soccer mom and how I've been upping my game little by little. I became a referee. I took on some assistant coaching. Then I made the big decision for this spring session to become the main coach. And we just had our first practice, and I haven't felt this nervous in a long, long time. Maybe you're thinking, Gina, are you crazy? Why are you so nervous? It's just a bunch of kids. I've got all the parents on the sideline watching my every move, always on the first practice, right? Who is this lady? Does she know what she's doing? Are these even the right drills? And then the kids are looking at me. I want to make sure they're having fun and they're getting something out of it. So I want to wow the kids. I want to wow the parents. And then the local administrator comes by and is checking everything out. So of course I want to impress him too. So it's a ton of pressure. Then after practice, big sigh of relief, right? It's a success because when I ask the kids, did they have fun? They scream yes. And it brings me back to my favorite question, what's the outcome? And really, the outcome is for these kids to have fun and to make a safe environment for them. So we did both. So once I had that first step or that first practice underway, I knew it was going to be smooth sailing from there. So I think this is a great metaphor for your course creation. I want you to get your first practice, your first step done. Get it out of the way. And then you know you've got it from there. So that first practice could be a first live, a first email sequence, your first script done. And just know once you get that out of the way, it's going to get easier and easier. Now, make sure you're keeping that in mind because there are a lot of steps to get your course done, and I get it, or to work on your marketing. And I want you to build that momentum. Keep going and remember to take the first step, get that first practice out of the way. All right, so let's talk about how you're going to build up your audience in order to launch in about 3 months. Full transparency, by the way, as always, as I'm talking through this episode, I'm going to launch a 6-week accelerator in about 6 to 7 weeks. If you've been listening to this podcast, you've heard me talk about the 6-week accelerator where you work with me live to get your course done and out to market. That's right, in 6 weeks. I take a small group, no more than 30 people, no more than 30 course creators, and walk you through live how to build out your course, talking about outlining and scripting and doing your offer and how you're going to sell it. There is no program like this in the world because I'm teaching you how to do it live and I'm holding your hand and I keep the program small so I'm invested in you and your course. So if you listen to this podcast and you work through these steps and then you work with me in the accelerator, you'll be ready to launch in 3 months. And if you save your spot right now, if you sign up for the wait list for the 6-week accelerator, coursecreationboutique.com/6 weeks, I will link to it in the show notes, I will give you a sign-up bonus. My 4 key ways to save time with your course creation, which is 4 ways that I have discovered that you can be more efficient with your course creation and your marketing, which I think is so important because we're all busier than ever. So sign up for the wait list. When you enroll, I'll give you that bonus. All right, let's dive in and talk about list building and getting your audience ready. Let's talk about month 1. So of course, with building your audience, you want to have an enticement for your potential course students to want to opt in. We've talked about this before, and I actually have a great episode about what it takes to make an enticing lead magnet. I break it all down in 3 steps. It's episode 61. I'll link to it in the show notes. I keep it really simple because I think sometimes we overcomplicate what it means to have a great lead magnet. And when I say lead magnet, I of course mean a cheat sheet, a guide, a checklist. It could be a quiz too, but really when you're starting out, low-hanging fruit, okay? A PDF that has enough value will really serve you. And a lot of times you have existing content that you can repurpose. I know people that have blogs that are so in-depth that can be turned into checklists or articles. I think a lot of you are producing a tremendous amount of content. You just need to repurpose that and gate it and then call it a lead magnet. So as part of your month 1 progress, if you don't have your lead magnet in shape already, I want you to get it in shape. Listen to episode 61 if you need to go back and figure out what's an effective lead magnet. And I want that lead magnet to be a direct match for what you're launching. For example, let's make up a fictional course for this episode. Let's pretend our course is about how to become a great youth soccer coach because, well, I'm going through it right now and it's top of mind. So if I think about a lead magnet for this, I would say maybe it's a starter kit on how to become, or your first steps to become a youth soccer coach. Maybe it's not so much about soccer and the rules, but it's really about the approach of teaching kids the game. Because maybe one of the prerequisites, or I'm thinking that my ideal audience played soccer, maybe in high school or a club team later on as an adult, like I did. So there's that knowledge of soccer, but not that knowledge necessarily of how do you work with kids. Because when you sign up to volunteer, they don't teach you how to really work with kids. They teach you how to take care of them, how to make sure it's a safe environment, but they're not necessarily going to teach you how to run practices. They don't teach you that. They don't teach you what drills to do or how to do a lineup. They don't tell you how to work with parents and different responses that you get from parents. So maybe that course, the paid course, is all about that. That's the approach. So if I'm thinking about my ideal student right now, what don't they know? What are some of the simple steps they can take right now to move forward and also get them ready for my course? So if it could be a starter kit or a quick start guide to getting you in shape, what you need to know to start your journey as a soccer coach. So you're getting that lead magnet in shape. Another thing you're doing in month 1, you're planning your content. This is your second piece. You're planning content that links back and aligns with your launch, with your course that you're going to put out. I've got a great podcast on this. It's episode 68. How to generate a month of content in 1 week. I talk about in that podcast what's your outcome and working back if you have a launch or a specific result that you want to reach and how to plan months of content based on that. Because now is the time to figure out, okay, what content do I want to teach, whether it's a podcast or a blog or video that leads up to folks buying my course in 3 months. So if we want to think through that and what does that look like, listen to that episode and get those pieces ready in advance. And then another piece you want to do in month 1 is booking media for months 2 and 3 that can help your promotion. You're booking out podcasts. And by the way, many podcasts book out months in advance. So this is great timing. This is a good opportunity to get that out, or an article or a guest blog or something to happen in month 3. And for more on how to book those podcasts, listen to episode 71. It's a gold mine of information with Christina. Or you can listen to How to Book More Press with Jen Bearson. That's episode 75. All right, so you're in good shape with month 1. Let's talk about month 2. You've done your preparation in month 1. Your lead magnet's in shape. You're planning out your content that leads to your launch, and you're booking out those media opportunities. Month 1 is really about planning and getting things in shape. Month 2 is about working the plan, teasing that content that has to do with your course topic, nurturing your students, and making sure they're getting primed for the sale that's coming. So if I go back to my youth soccer example, you're focusing on the what and not the how with the content. I might have an article or a blog about parents and maybe dealing with some difficult parents. I might have an article about an approach to game day and lineups, or another article about how to deal with kids when they're disappointed that they don't start or when they don't get a lot of playing time. But the play-by-play or the step-by-step, hear me now, I'm going to reserve for my paid course. I know I'm going to have specific drills in there. I'm not going to do content on that. Save your best systemized stuff for your paid course. Remember, give them the what, not the how, in your free content as a run-up. Then also in month 2, I'm pushing the lead magnet, right? I'm putting that out there. I'm making it more prominent. If I'm doing guest spots or podcasts, I'm mentioning the lead magnet everywhere I go. And then also part of month 2 is you're showing up more. You're commenting. You should be doing that anyway, but I'm as guilty as anyone for not engaging as much as I should and then really turning it on in the months leading up to a launch. You want to really put yourself out there as much as possible and, if appropriate, mentioning your community and signing up for your lead magnet. All right, then in month 3, you're still working your plan and your content. Then hopefully your media is hitting, and which is going to mention your opt-in about building your list and continuing to nurture them. You're getting that stronger message out there with your content, and it leads directly to your lead magnet and building up that community. Maybe you're doing lives that lead to that opt-in for you. Maybe you talk to a couple of influencers and you decide to do some interviews together so you can build up your audience. Now, if you've done this 3-month plan, you'll have built up a warm audience who is interested in your course. You know this because they've opted into your lead magnet and you've nurtured them with your free content that's related to the course that you're going to sell. So now when you go to launch your course, it feels like a natural next step because they're ready and eager to learn more. So at the end of the 3 months, you could consider going live. A ton of my accelerator students launch by going live at the end of our program together. If you're interested in learning more about how to go live, listen to episode 26, Deliver Your Online Course Live and Nail It. I think this is a great way to launch because it's less pressure. You can adjust to what your students really want, and you're committing to actually getting it done. So I'm a huge fan of going live. Listen to that episode and you'll learn some of the insights that I've picked up along the way. So again, if you've been thinking about launching your course, this episode is the lead up. This is a run up to my 6-week accelerator, which is happening very soon. So if you're on track with this program or this timeline that I laid out, you will launch at the end of the 6-week accelerator. And again, if you save your spot for the wait list, when you enroll, I'll have that special time-saving bonus for you. Check that out because I want you building up your audience. I want you launching. I want you building up your business. Now is the time to do it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions on this, hit me up at Instagram at Course Creation Boutique or on LinkedIn. I'd love to answer your questions. Next week, join me because we're working on a really, really great question. We'll workshop this. What if I have multiple ideas for a course? Oof, so good. I get questions like this all the time. Gina, I have multiple audiences. How do I know which course to start with? You and I are going to break it down next week. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that episode. Until next week, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.